of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la. Fast away the old year passes. Fa la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Fa la 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 la. Sing we joyous all together. Fa la 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 la. Heedless
Hello and welcome. Today is the last day of the advent calendar of 2022, and as per tradition I won't be playing a game today, rather I will rank the games I played throughout the month. And yeah, this has been the first year where I picked out the games myself. Usually when I do this I buy an advent calendar from a guy online, and he mix and match all the games, and they're usually like games that you know or have heard of, and I like pretty much like, yeah, your everyday kind of game. I decided to make my own this year to both save money, because I was getting released a ton of awesome looking games that I'd rather spend my money on. Also, I thought it could be fun to show a little more unique game and obscure games. And yeah, I would very much like to know your guys' opinion. What do you prefer? Do you prefer if I just buy the advent calendar and I don't know what the games are, and they're all mixed and matched, and a lot of them might be like classic that everybody knows? Or do you prefer it like I did this year, where I pick the games myself and I make sure there are some like weird and obscure and good games between them? And yeah, and again, what do you prefer? Do you prefer like if I do underrated and obscure games, or more like the classics? Like, in my opinion, I like playing like these weird games because everybody can play like GTA or Tekken or whatever, but I think it's more fun to take a look at some of these games, and they've been mostly good. There's been a couple of dumpster fires, but we'll talk about that as soon as the ranking begin. But before that, I always have a beer this day also. Like, as per tradition, I always have like a Videl, which is like a type of beer we have here in Denmark, very low alcohol percentage, and they're very much sweet, and I hate them. But I tried a different one this year. Like, usually I will go for this one, because this is the one that I grew up with. Sears Julevidel. I mean, I love the picture of the Santa on the cover, but I tried another one. Cannot remember if I had this as a child. I usually don't drink these that often, but this is the KB, which means Copenhagen Juleøl Christmas Ale or Christmas beer, and this is also a Videl. And I kind of like this like picture of the old Santa or elf on the cover. Like, this screams like picture we've used since 1880 or something like that. Whereas this more looks like something, oh, we have used this since the 90s. I don't know why that is something I prefer. But oh well, let's open this bad boy up, and hopefully you won't be as sickeningly sweet as the other one. Actually, don't smell that sweet. Who knows, maybe I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised today. Like, this used to be a type of beer that I would love as a kid, but as I've grown older, not so much. It's, as I said, it has a very low alcohol percentage. It's something we allow our kids. It's usually served together with like a rice porridge we get here in December in Denmark, and yeah, and let's have a sip of this one. Oh, that's actually not that bad. Holy crap! Like, this one is sickeningly sweet. Like, if someone dropped like a bunch of sugar or caramel in your beer, and I don't really like that. This one, still on the sweet side. It has this like, once you like put it in your mouth, or like it starts off tasting very similar, like the sweetness, but it just mellows out very fast, and I like that. It's like fresh. This is actually not that bad. Holy crap! This is kind of weird because I usually have a backup beer because I know these. I'm not a big fan of these, but I might not need it. But no, goddamn. Of course, I'm gonna have my favorite Christmas beer, and that is the Grimbergen Brasindi Noel, which probably not how you pronounce it, but who gives a shit? And yeah, this is just an awesome beer. This is my favorite. I always get this on this day because it's just a really good beer. And what can I read about it on the back? Grimbergen Noel is a dark ale with a clear copper brown color. Great lasting foam crown, soft mouthfeel, and with a sweet licorice in the aftertaste. The smell of vanilla, caramelized apple, caramel, and malt, but it is not like as sweet as that other crap. This is so fucking awesome. This is just my favorite Christmas beer. And of course we gotta use the proper Grimbergen glass. Don't drop it now. Like, just the foam is beautiful. The beer has nice bubbles to it, and the foam just looks like fucking whipped cream, and I love it. Like, it smells spiced and still like, I don't know, it smells like freaking Christmas. Like, it has all the right Christmas flavors, but it's not like overpowering and gets too sweet and like kind of icky. It's just, it stays good and kind of fresh, and I love it for that. Oh, this beer is the best fucking Christmas beer, in my opinion. At least of those I have tried. Awesome. Alright, we gotta start with the ranking. The first couple of games probably not gonna be a surprise, but in which order perhaps. And the first and the worst game is gonna be White Van Racers. Holy crap. Never have I ever played such a bare bones kind of game. It feels almost like a demo, like a school project for someone who's trying to develop a game, and it got released somehow. It's like really weird because the environment looks so freaking boring, and the roads were so fucking narrow that you could barely surpass the other cars, or like surpass the other cars on the road, at least in some of the levels. And I don't know, like, this was bad, but it was like more boring than bad because it was so bare minimum and bland. And I feel kind of like boring is worse than bad, because with bad you can at least kind of laugh off it and laugh at it perhaps. And there's nothing to laugh at here. This was just like probably the dullest Let's Play I did, at least in my opinion, in this advent calendar, maybe of all advent calendars I've done. So yeah, luckily this game is like very expensive for some ungodly reason, so I'm happy to own this, but it's a terrible game. Oh yeah, I should probably mention the games are ranked after what little I have played. The 30-40 minutes or whatever I played of the game is like what I'm basing this off. Like, some of those games I've not played anymore of, some of these I played, I finished the games, but I'm just judging these games based off what little I played, just to make this like fair. It's like a weird little ranking thing. Don't take it serious, like, it's just for shits and giggles. We're just having fun today, hopefully. So don't take the ranking like too serious. The second game, I don't think I have raged so much at a game. Thomas and Friends at the Races. A Day at the Races, excuse me. Yeah, this is a game made for kids. Not just kids, they're made for fucking dumb kids. Dumb kids. Dumb, ugly, dumb kids. Yes. And I felt so cheated when I played this, because it says in the cover that they speak English. I picked this because they said they speak English. I wasn't sure, but it says, or rather I was sure because it says it's on the cover. And yeah, then I put it in, and English was not an option for the speaking language. So like, yeah, I was ripped off with this game. It's not even like doing what it promises on the box. And the gameplay itself was like the most boring, like I don't know, shitty mini games ever with the iToy. But you know what? It kind of made me laugh. So I'm placing it a little higher than White Van Racers. And also it's just kind of fun that to watch play the Danish dub of this game, because the narrator was actually the narrator from the show. And even though I never watched that much of Thomas, yeah, what's his Thomas the Train or whatever it's called as a child, it still felt like very nostalgic to hear his voice. So yeah, I'm placing this a little higher. Crap game, but yeah. And next game is also a game that made me laugh like a lot. It wasn't so much for the gameplay, but more for the the design of the characters. And it's Prism, Chapter 1, The Dark Unicorn. I'm guessing they wanted to be a franchise, which didn't happen. And as I think I said in the video, if someone told me that they had fun with this as a child, I probably would believe them. But this looked so shitty. Like, I don't think I've seen so ugly character models in a PS2 game in like a while. They look like they belonged on the PS1 originally. It felt like it just felt like a game that was really intended for the PS1 and then later getting ported to the PS2 and scratching the whole PS1 thing. But yeah, and the gameplay itself wasn't really that fun. I died quite often. I'm not sure if it's because I just suck at it, most likely, or if it's like just poorly made. But and that's why I'm giving this like a little I have a little doubt for this one. I'm placing this higher than the others because I think I might just be bad at this game. Like with a lot of other games, I might just be bad at it. So yeah, you're getting off with the technicality for being worst. Also because your other opponents was Thomas the Train and White Van Racers. Next up is probably gonna be a little controversial, but again, remember, I'm basing these off what little I played. And it's gonna be Echo Knight Beyond. I know some people talk about this game and say it's fucking awesome, but again, from the half hour I played, I was honestly just a little bored and getting stuck on the first ghost where I couldn't find I think it was a flask I need to find for the ghost, and I don't know. Again, if I gave this maybe a few hours, it would up to me, or it would just click with me and I would love this thing. But again, from what little I played, I don't feel like I can place it any higher on the ranking than, where are we? At number 4, I think? My god, this must be the biggest wasted potential of a game. Altered Beast. This could have been such a great beat 'em up, but the controls just lagged, and that hurts. They had these visceral cutscenes when you're transformed into a beast, and later in the game, I unfortunately didn't get to that. You can transform into different beasts. You start off as a werewolf, as you remember, and I just wish the controls had been good. They were stiff and unprecise and not very good. If the control had just been spot on, even just a little bit, this would have been an underrated classic. Or hell, it might just be classic, but yeah, I don't know. It got dull, honestly, and yeah, and it kind of hurts because I wanted this to be good. I remember playing a little of this earlier, and I couldn't really decide whether I liked it or not. At least not from memory. I couldn't remember if I liked it or not. But yeah, do like the cover, however. And I wish they want to make another Altered Beast game, because why not? It's a cool idea that your character can transform into different hybrid monster beast, and that's just awesome. That's not something we have today, I think. Alright, I think again this game is ranked very low, and it's mainly because I struggle with the controls, and it is Steambot Chronicles. Again, if someone told me that this game was the bee's knees, this was the shit, I could believe them. I honestly would believe them. And hell, who knows, if I played a few hours of this and got used to controls, I might agree. But again, from what little I played, most of the time I was really just struggling with how awful the controls was and how little sense they made. So yeah, that was what was concerning me most when I played this. So yeah, even though I do love the idea. I mean, I love music and games that are based on the music world, even though I don't know anything about music and I'm kind of tone deaf. So the idea of your characters being musicians and doing stuff with music, and again running around in mechs that you can maybe customize, I think, and used to fight with. It just sounds fucking awesome. It sounds like this should be cracked on a game. But yeah, as I said, the controls just didn't work for me, and that's a shame. Next up is a game that I remember being a lot better, and it is Total Overdose. Again, fun game. If I played a little more of it, it might open up a bit more and I might have a lot more fun with it. But from what little I played, it just felt like a more stiff version of GTA. Even though you could do wall running and stuff like that, or jump, and you would do all sort of crazy shit with this, with how your character like moves around during combat. It still felt a little more stiff than when I say played GTA San Andreas or Vice City or something like that. Again, that might just be me, but yeah, if you play this for like a couple of hours and you get more used to it, the driving won't feel as stiff, the combat won't feel as stiff, I'm guessing, and hopefully it will like open up a lot more and be a lot cooler. But again, from what little I played, and which is what I'm judging this on, yeah, wasn't really like having a super good time with this one. I keep looking, making sure that I haven't like put this thing on fire from the candle. Alright, a game that was a roller coaster of emotion is America's 10 Most Wanted. Oh my god, I wanted to hate it, and then I wanted to love it, and then it made me like kinda at some point. And yeah, like the shooting was fine, it was kind of fun, at least the opening level was super fun in my opinion. And then they had this like Tekken, almost like a crap version of Tekken, where you have to like fight the guy you are going to capture, and that was bad, that was not my thing. But yeah, as I said, the shooting was fun. This is known as like one of the worst games of all time, at least on the PS2. But it wasn't really that bad, at least not the shooting. The fighting was, and maybe also a little insensitive with the characters. I mean, you can capture and kill Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. And this game was released in what? I don't know. I don't know if that is like kind of proper to make a game of, but here it is, and it's crazy time. If you can find this dirt cheap, I would actually recommend that you pick it up just to try it out. As I said, the shooting is kind of fun, and you can use like a life or one up or a guy or whatever you call them to like skip the fights. So, and the combat was like super hard, so you can just skip the fights if you're feeling like that. So yeah, this was kind of fun, surprisingly. Alright, I think this is time to get a little more beer. This is good. Just lovely beer. Alright, another game that I wish I had more time to play, but I was just afraid that the Let's Play was gonna be too long. And it is Curse the Eye of Isis. Now there was something with like the audio, especially after I started editing. I could see that the vocal audio for the characters was super low compared to like the audio for like the sound effects and music and stuff, and the quality was not super great on the audio for the characters. And I probably shouldn't speak, I guess my audio isn't like super great either, but I'm just a lonesome YouTuber. This is like a game that's been made by a company, like several people who are professional behind it. Anyways, let's not forget about that, because I don't want to like this sound like I had a bad time with this, because I didn't. I had a really good time with this. It feels like Resident Evil Light. Like there was this where we explored the museum, and that was kind of fun, the kind of unique setting. Again, I wish we had a little more of the different exhibitions, but I think we are about to get to that. So if I played like another hour of that, we might have seen more of that. Also, the combat wasn't super awesome, but hey, it is what it is. I do like the idea of the whole like Egyptian enemies, even though they look mostly like zombies. I wish we had like more video games that took place in like Egypt and had us fight like mummies and stuff. That's probably not cultural appropriate, but who gives a shit? I just want to fight mummies and and climb around pyramids and stuff, and yeah, so yeah. Anyways, I had a good time with this. Just wish I had more time to play this, or like could make a longer let's play of this. But who knows? Maybe I want to do that one of these days. All right, another game carried by nostalgia, and it kind of didn't completely hit the landing. Spyro, A New Beginning, and I loved this game as a child. I remembered, I think. But it was, when I replayed this, I wasn't having like as good as a time. The control wasn't as good as the PS1 games, at least from memory. And also like Sparks was just completely annoying, like your little Firefly companion. Like, I don't remember him being so annoying, but I think last time I played this, I probably couldn't even understand English, so didn't have an idea of what he was saying. But this time he kind of annoyed me. But as one of Viewers said the voice actor for Sparks changed throughout this like trilogy there of these games, of the modern Spyro games, from each game. So who knows, there might be a version out there of Sparks that is tolerable. And yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Alright. Donald Duck PK. Again, I might let my nostalgia just peek in here a little bit. But again, this is just a fun, simple little platformer shooter game. I had a super good time with this. I just love Donald Duck, and PK is like such an underrated character in the world of Disney, and I just wish they would do more with him. And this game is way better than it has any right to be. Also, as I said in the video, it's super short. I think I beat this in like an afternoon. I think I could beat this like 3, maybe 4 hours if you don't rush. And this is like, I don't know, there's something really awesome about this and kind of addicting. And yeah, what else to say? I think maybe I remember the power of being a little more unique. The like punch down power you get. I seem to remember that you could use that on enemies, but I think if I remember right, I could only like use it in like certain areas, and that was a little disappointing. But yeah. Anyways, again, this is a game. If you can find this, pick it up. It's like super fun. So yeah. Talking about fucking underrated, Judge Dredd: Dread vs. Death for the PS2, also released on PC, so you can buy it on there, and that's probably gonna be like the superior version, or it is the superior version. This game was hella fun. I sucked at it, but that's also because the controls are a little finicky on the PS2. Yeah, this just captures like the whole feeling of being a judge. You have your crazy gun that can use like different ammunition, and even though you can use other weapons in it, it's just mostly fun using your main sidearm and chasing the ammunition. And an annoying thing, however, was that when you walked around in the city and you had to fight these like vampire monsters, some of the pedestrians would get in your way and like get hit by crossfire or like the afterblast or from an explosion from your gun, and then they would die or get hurt, and you would get like a penalty. And if it happened too often, you would get like hunted by other judges and kind of get a game over. And that was kind of annoying. That was a bummer that I kind of had to almost wait for the vampires to kill all the civilians so I could start attacking the vampires. And that was not that great. But other than that, like the shooting was very fun. Play this on the PC, maybe like just hope that Rebellion will make like a remaster or remake of this, because like Judge Dredd, just like, why don't we have any more Judge Dredd video games? Like, it seems like a character that would be perfect for first-person shooters or third-person shooters. So yeah, where are the Dredd games, dudes? All right, let's try this crap again. I'm impressed. It's not like as sweetly awful as the other one. Holy crap. Like, have I just been drinking the wrong fucking video my entire life? Apparently I have. This is a game I want to love, and it's Metal Arms Glitch in the System. And it had this like almost Ratchet & Clank vibe with your little character and cool gun and walking around. But the PS2 port was a little finicky with the frame rate and just how it ran. Also the combat, like in a section, I just got my ass kicked again and again and again. And again, I just suck at video games, so that could be like the obvious answer for that. But also the I don't know, it is fun. Don't get me wrong, it is fun. If you can find this on Xbox, which I've heard should be the superior version, or was it the GameCube? I can't remember. There might also be a PC port. I'm not 100% sure of that. But yeah, play one of those versions. Because I think this is like very good potential, and another game I just would wish they would make like a remaster or remake of, because it seemed like a very fun world. Like the intro cutscene just had me laughing like nothing before, like this swearing Dr. Robot or whatever he was, and that was just very fun. A repairman, I guess, and the general who was like alone with 2 soldiers despite him having like this big speech. Yeah. The humor of this game was fucking brilliant. The combat was fun, but as I said, I died very easily, so it could just be me sucking. But yeah, awesome game. Awesome game. Awesome game. I'm dying here. This is also a game I just wished I could play more hours of, and it is Jade Cocoon 2. Like, this has potential to be like perhaps in the top 3 of this ranking here if I had played maybe a little more of it. It's kind of like in the vein of Pokemon or maybe more Tamagotchi. No, I don't think you have to feed your animals like the monsters. Anyways, it was like a cool idea where you had to like capture monsters and use them in combat. The combat was a little like, I don't know, over complicated. Like I would prefer just like a simple, more Pokemon style where you can choose like one attack, but you kind of have to switch the monsters from like, we have the monster that attacks and a monster that defends and a monster that heals. And while it looked kind of cool, it seems like a little finicky. But maybe once you play a few hours, this is just gonna make sense and just click and be totally addicting and could be very cool. I do like the art style of this game. The monsters that I saw so far wasn't really that great, however, but again, later in the game they might be like super fucking awesome. So yeah, Jade Cocoon 2. I still need to track down the first Jade Cocoon. I've also been meaning to play that for a while, but now I've been playing this one, and yeah, recommend this if you can find it. And here we also have one of the most underrated games ever, Whiplash for the PS2. I think it's also been released on Xbox. I actually don't think this has been released on PC, if I remember right. Anyways, you play as these like a weasel and the rabbit, and they are chained together, and you mostly play as the weasel, and the rabbit just kind of follows you on a chain. And super fun platformer with a great humor. And yeah, something happened. I had like a mental breakdown when I played this. I got stuck in a part where I was like, that's so easy. Why didn't you do that? Like, it's kind of dumb. But I was playing this. I was a little tired, and my brain just wouldn't work. So yeah, even just editing the last part of this just hurt mentally to watch, because like, why are you not doing what the game tells you to do? I think I just missed that part. But yeah, and it's so fucking dumb. Like, as I said, the part I got stuck on was not really a part you should get stuck on. It's just me having like really bad mental fart. So yeah, Whiplash, definitely go to get this one. Unique art style. Why did this not become a franchise? Actually, I don't know if this ends in a way where it could be a franchise. Maybe in like sequels you could play as like different animals chained together, or maybe like morph together. And I'm just wish thinking right now. But yeah, fun platformer with some combat elements, and yeah, really great. One of the best side-scroller beat-em-ups on the PS2, at least in my opinion, and it is Beautiful Joe. Like this unique, almost Power Rangers style with movie power-ups that are kind of overpowered until you like later in the game where there's some like weird enemies, but enough about that. Yeah, I love the style of this game. It's a little too film grainy for my opinion, but I like the characters, I like the combat. The combat feels really good. I suck at it, as I do with every game, but again, find this. You're probably not gonna find this like dirt cheap, I think, but if you can, pick it up. And even if you can't find it dirt cheap, pick it up for like a decent price, because this is just very fun. I had a super good time with this, and yeah, there's also a sequel which I haven't actually played. I own it, but haven't played this. Also know that both of the games were released on the GameCube, which I hear a lot of people say is a better version of it. There might also be like a third game exclusive to the GameCube, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I might just be like spitting fake facts over here. Fake news, Dalipoe. Alright, Goblin Commanders. This was also one of those games that was kind of hard to put down as I started then playing this. I just I wanted to keep going, but I had to end this because because the video shouldn't get too long. And it's like an RTS thingamajig, and I'm usually not a fan of RTS unless they're like very simplified. And usually definitely not on the consoles, because like with the controller and stuff, it just doesn't work. But this game worked great on the controller and with the simplified RTS, at least from what little I played. It might like get more complicated the more you play of it, but from what I played, it was like straight up my alley, and I enjoyed this very much. The cool design of the goblins, the weird language. Also, I was getting a little interested in the story of this game to see what happened with the master. So yeah, again, really fun game. Pick this one up if you can find it. Also, just love the cover, like with the different. It kind of gave me Overlord vibes with the different monsters. So yeah, and also you looked like you were gonna get a different goblins, and didn't get as far to get the second part. But again, this must have inspired like Overlord, or maybe Overlord's just most inspired by Pikmin, but that's just, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, making dumb thoughts into words. And here we have Kia Dark Lineage. This is where I placed this one. Another really super underrated platformer with a character that I just wish would get more recognition. I mean, this was super fun. I love the colorful world and again the gameplay, like how you glide in the air and everything. Like this just had potential to be a fucking classic, but it flew under the radar. And I showed you guys it, so hopefully some of you will pick it up and enjoy this game. So I really hope you will do that, because this is a fun platformer. And even though I actually haven't beat this yet, I think it was supposed to get a sequel if I remember right, but I might not remember right. It's kind of late in the day, so my brain is kind of fucked. Yeah, this is, yeah, what can I say? Pick this one up. It's an underrated game that just needs more attention, because it's way too high quality to just get a swap under the rock. I'm just spitting out words right now. I don't have any idea what I'm saying. Like, this might be one of the weakest in the franchise, but when the franchise is as great as it is, it's still gonna be ranked very high. And it is Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. And holy crap. This, again, the port of this was originally a PSP game, and the port was a little unstable. It wasn't as smooth with the frame rate and the combat as the PS2 games, at least from memory. I usually play like the remastered on the PS3 these days, but memory, I think the other one ran a lot better on PS2. But again, it's still just Ratchet & Clank, and even when Ratchet & Clank are bad, they're still very fun and enjoyable. I say that without having played Secret Agent Clank, even though people say that should be the worst one, but who knows, maybe one of these days. And yeah, it's classic Ratchet & Clank. You have like your cool wrench and cool different weapons, really awesome looking enemy designs, and yeah, just really fun game. I mean, it's Ratchet & Clank. Jesus, guys, I would get those guys' faces tattooed on my ass, like one face on each ass cheek, and I would just be a happy camper. What am I even saying now? Alright, we have this one and 4 other games left of the ranking, and this game was also a game that really had a hard time letting go of, and it is Champions Return to Arms. And it was like a Diablo kind of game, like CRPG on the console, which again, probably based on the PC, but I don't think this has been released on PC. It might have been released on like Xbox, but again, I'm not 100% sure. And it was just super fun. I'm usually not into like Diablo or CRPG games, but I just couldn't stop playing. Like, there was something really addictive about the combat and like picking up loot, and like how the armor and the weapons would look different on your character. That was also like, that's a thing I think a lot of developers like underestimate how fun that is. Like, just the fact that you pick up a new armor and you can see how the armor looks different on your character. That is just very, very fun and very, very enjoyable. So yeah, it was hard to stop, and the different races was awesome looking. Like the tiger race I picked, even though they might have like inflated the boobs of some of the characters quite a bit, like the female models, at least they were they were like exaggerated. They're way too damn big. They're never too big, are they? I don't know. That's up for debate. Anyways, what's not up for debate is this is a fun game. Who says violin can be fun? Definitely not Frank Castle, The Punisher. This is like, again, an awesome game on the PS2. Also, I think this is also released on Xbox and might also PC? I'm not sure. Just the combat alone was fucking amazing. Dual wielding shotguns, like that's not something you see every day, like especially not at the time of when this game was released. And the combat was just super fun. It was like a Mad Max, but it maybe even better than some Mad Max games, at least the first one. And I just loved this, like the violence and the weapons felt very good, and like the torturing. It feels like kind of weird to say these stuffs out loud. Like the torturing felt so great in this game. You feel kind of like a sicko, but I guess I kind of am a sicko. So yeah, this game, pick it up. Like fucking good times. And also if you're a fan of the character, the Punisher, it's also kind of fun story. So yeah, get this one. Alright, the third last game of my advent calendar, and I'm probably ranking this way too high. But how could I not? Evil Dead Regeneration. When Bruce Campbell is involved, I just like there are like 2 living people in this world I would go like screaming schoolgirl over, and Bruce Campbell is one of those. Like, I just love the man, and his voice as his character Ash from Evil Dead is just great in this. And the combat, while not amazing, not something we haven't seen before, was still very fun, and the enemy design, again, not that creative, but it was just fun. It worked because Bruce Campbell. It worked because Bruce Campbell. I would sit through like the worst kind of garbage if Bruce Campbell is in it. And this game was like decent, and it had Bruce Campbell in it, which makes it fucking amazing. So yeah, this is why I ranked this so high. If you can find this, definitely get it. I heard some people say it shouldn't be good when they played like more of it. Like as I said in my review, or like my let's play of this, City11 has done a review of this, and he didn't have like the best time of it, if I remember right. So yeah, don't take this like that I ranked this so high super serious, because I'm like a fangirl for Bruce Campbell. So yeah, that's why I'm putting this so high. But yeah, I also just really love this cover. I wish I had that as a poster. And the second last game is the first game of our advent calendar, Time Splitters Future Perfect. This is one of those first-person shooters on the PS2 that still holds up, like in the controls. They're a little like, of course, if you're used to like playing first-person shooters on modern consoles, it's not gonna feel quite as good, but it still felt very good mechanics-wise. At least it wouldn't be as hard to go back to this one as it would some other first-person shooters on the PS2. And the humor was great, and the idea of like traveling around in the different time areas, just so fucking fun. Definitely go play this one, and if you can track down the second one as well, also play that. If I'm being completely honest, I think I prefer the second one a little more over this one, but maybe given time, if I played like a little more of this, I would enjoy this more. But yeah. Definitely. You probably all have played this. This is probably like just me being late to the party. But yeah, this was an awesome game. I was really happy to play this and had a good time, and excited to play more of this one. The last and best game of the advent calendar is of course the one where I copped out and put it as the last game in the advent calendar, because it's such a fun game, and I wanted to end on a good game. Like imagine if we ended on White Van Racers, that would just be like infuriating. But it is Radiator Stories. This is such a fun game. Like both, I love the art style of the game, I love the humor of the game. It's straight up my alley, and we didn't really get to see it in the part that I played. But once it opens up a bit more, you can like collect all these NPCs and use them in your party. The combat is not like super great, and also it's like a shame that this game has not been released in like PAL territories. If you want to play this in PAL territories, you gotta get either like a modded PS3 or maybe emulated, and definitely do that. It's such a fun and addictive game. Like I love the characters, and again I just had a hard time stopping this. It was only because like I had gotten so used to like playing modern games where I always have like a checkpoint that I come back to, and I forgot to save, so I got quite a far bit back there. I think that was the only reason why I stopped this, because if that hadn't happened, I probably would have played another hour of this. So yeah, this is just such a fun game. Definitely, like, if I want to say one thing, like, go out to your friends, go out on YouTube for every underrated video games list and channels or whatever there is on YouTube. Go talk about this one. Talk to this game about your friends, and just let everybody know about this game, because it is so fucking fun. And don't necessarily ask them to buy it, because I think it's gonna go up in price. Just make an emulated and whatever, and just talk about this game so much that we might get a remaster or remake or re-release or what, just something about this. I could gush over this, and it is kind of a shame with the cover, because the cover makes it look very cheap and bad, honestly. I wish they'd done something better with it. I think this game was kind of like fucked over by its cover. Had it got something like way cooler or way better looking, it might have sold better, at least in America. I don't know if the Japanese cover is any better, but oh well, yeah. This has been the best game of my advent calendar. And yeah, I kind of knew that from day one that this was gonna be the best game of the advent calendar. And this has been the ranking of this year's advent calendar video games. I had such a good time this year. It was fun to pick the games myself, even though some of these games, some of them I had finished before, but most of these are games I just played a little of when I got them and have heard good stuff about. And yeah, it's been very fun to play some of these games. Like with the other games, with the other advent calendars, there was the fun of the surprise, but also like the little disappointment. As I said, I think I said that for like almost every advent calendar videos at the end of them. I would rather have spent my money on like 10 games that I wanted for myself than just these random 24 games. But there's also like the fun elements. I think I also said that last year, that I might get a game that I would never have gotten. Like my number one game from last year was the Simpsons games, a game that I would have never gotten because I'm not a Simpsons fan. And I had such a good time with that game. It was such a fun platformer. And I would never bought it if it hadn't been for like the advent calendar I got it. So there is like that element as well to like the advent to take in consideration when buying these advent calendars, that I might get games that I wouldn't have gotten and just really loved. And but then there's this where I can like kind of control it a bit more, make sure they're like mostly good games and some bad ones, because I know you like to watch me suffer, you fucking bastards. But it's all good. And yeah. Please, as I said, let me know in the comments what do you prefer, like the standard where I just buy it, or the this way where I like choose the games myself, and if you prefer like more classic games or the obscure ones. Then I will take it into consideration for next year. I'm not promising that it's gonna be either way, just from what you guys write, because it will also come down to what money I have next year, and like who knows, like what next year might look like. So no promises, but I'll definitely take it into consideration. And with that, I'm just gonna top off my beer and wish all of you guys a very Merry Christmas. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for everyone who stuck through the entire advent calendar. You guys are my freaking heroes. I love you guys. Thank you all for writing. I know some days I'm a little late with like responding or like forget to respond, but I will try to heart as many as your comments as possible, just to know, because to let you know that I read them. And I read all your comments, don't get me wrong, and I love it. I love all the comments you guys send me, so it's really fucking awesome. So yeah. With that being said, this is gonna be the end of my video. So if you've been sticking through the bad English, you're a real hero. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas.